Namaste, everyone, and welcome to the Jai Bhakti Yoga podcast, where we share information on all things yoga, Ayurveda, and well-being lifestyle. I am excited to share these resources, insights, interviews, and so much more as we grow together on this wonderful journey of well-being. I am your host, Christina Andrini, founder of Jai Bhakti Yoga Foundation and JBYU School of Yoga and Ayurveda. I'd like to invite you to subscribe to our blog on Tumblr, as well as to follow us on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and all the fun social media channels where we share some of the tips and insights and resources from our podcast and vice versa on here. Now let's go ahead and begin with today's episode. Welcome back, everyone. And this cast is going to be focused on the doshas and your Ayurvedic body type. So now we're going a little bit more deeper and deeper as we're progressing along. And now we're going to dive into what are these doshas. Let's dive on in. All right. So Vata dosha comprises the primary bodily functions of transportation, which would be food throughout the body, throughout the digestive tract, nutrients throughout the cells, and a subtle bit of proteins and minerals. This movement, of the body parts, of thoughts, of blood throughout the system, signals from the nervous system, as well as communication, such as communication between organs, cells, and all bodily systems. Vata dosha is represented by the elements of air and space. Air and space. And in the last podcast, I said, well, you might be really craving water, or you might be really craving being outdoors, or having that sense of being outside the self, because you need to have movement in your life. You don't like to be confined. And Vata Constitution does not like to be in a box. They are a free bird. They love spaciousness. They love the ocean. They love being outdoors. They love hiking. They love moving, a lot of movement, dance, very expressive constitution. In a balanced state, Vata dosha expresses itself as balanced movement, inhalation, expiration, enthusiasm, balanced development of the dhatus, balanced release of waste products, which are known as malas. The main place we see the functioning of the Vata dosha is in the shrotas, or the energy channels of the body, such as the veins, the arteries, and the digestive tract, myofascial system, etc. Vata dosha exhibits the quality of dry, light, cold, very quick moving, and subtle. Vata type constitutions are typically of a lighter and thinner build with high creativity and very quick thinking, very everywhere at the same time. Is that they have a very big tendency to worry, and they have a huge aversion to cold weather. So those are our Vatas. Now we're going to move into the Pittas. Pitta constitution comprises the primary bodily functions of metabolism and digestion, also called the Agnis. Agnis, as we know from teacher training and as we know from other casts that I have posted before, that Agnis represents fire. It is your solar plexus chakra, right? This is where we're getting stuff done. So we're food processes, we take out what's rich in nourishment, we let go of what doesn't serve us. It is dosha that loves the company of people, education, and bliss. They are very happy for the most part, very, very affirmative, very focused dosha. They are the go-getter. They want to get stuff done. Pitta dosha is represented by the elements of course, fire and water. And in a balanced state, Pitta expresses itself in the form of good vision, great digestion, normal temperature, a balance of hunger and thirst, a bodily softness, luster, happiness, and intelligence. Pitta dosha is a very quick learner, picks up very fast, and retains it very well. Vata is a knowledge seeker. They are the studiers. They take in information, but as quickly as they learn it, they can sometimes as quickly forget it. So they really have to focus more because of being all over the place. Unlike Pitta, where they're so focused that they can really retain that information very quickly and then apply it right away. Pitta dosha is someone that you would want to hire as your business manager. Vatas would be more of like a marketing person, very social butterfly. Pitta dosha exhibits the qualities of slightly oily, light, hot, sharp, flowing, liquid, and pungent. Those of the Pitta type constitution tend to have medium builds, a reddish complexion, sharp language. Hunger and digestion has to be on point. If they miss a meal, they get what we call hangry, and a tendency towards irritability and temper. So you know a Pitta, when they're boiling and they start to turn red, and you already know that it takes a moment for them to pop. And they have a very sharp intellect, like we discussed, and character. Kapha types. Kapha type doshas are some of my favorites. They comprise primarily of the functions of structural integrity, cohesion, lubrication of all the tissues, the dhatus in the body, those are the tissues in the body, and exhibits the qualities of oily, heavy, wet, cold, slow, stable, sticky, dull, and sweet. So these are our couch potato friends. I'll get to it later. I'm pretty content where I'm at right now. They're very good with saving money. And these would be the people I would hire for financial matters. The Kapha dosha is represented by the elements of water and earth. Kapha expresses itself in a balanced state through unctuousness, cohesion, heaviness, virility, incredible amount of strength, forbearance, lots of patience, and the absence of greed. These are very generous, loving souls. Individuals of the Kapha type constitution tend to be of solid, more heavier builds, more athletic, thicker builds, with oily, smooth skin, thicker, darker, and long hair for the most part, a slow or mild digestion and appetite. They also tend to exhibit great strength and endurance, as well as a tranquil and patient personality. These are the type that will be on a couch all day long watching their favorite Netflix, and then you say, hey friend, let's go do a marathon tomorrow that you've been training for forever. And they're like, okay, I'll go with you. And they knock it out of the park, and you're like huffing and puffing, and they're like back on the couch just chilling. So Kaphas are a really interesting doshic constitution. Each of us has a combination of these three doshas in our bodies, and at any given time, there is a combination of doshas we are born with called our constitution. Ayurveda body type, or your prakriti, the individual makeup as we learned in Sanskrit. We also have a state of balance and imbalance, which are the vikritis, which represent the doshas that are elevated within our body at a given time. If the doshas accumulate beyond healthy limits, those determined by one's constitution, they can wreak havoc on our health. And that is why it is so important to have an understanding of your doshic constitutions and what are the tools we need to keep them pacified or balanced. So that in a nutshell, let's take a moment to take it all in, go back to your doshic test and see how relative everything is and how it makes sense for you and what your takeaways were, any notes, any questions that you have, and let's dive into those in our next segment. Looking forward to speaking about the difference between the constitutions and the imbalances, and I'll see you there. Namaste, much love from my heart to yours. Peace and blessings. Thank you all so much for participating in today's wonderful podcast. As always, it's such a joy and an honor to share in this space with all of you and hold the space together as a collective. I invite you to support my life's work on Teachable. For those of you that would like continuing education units, Teachable will be the go-to for your membership. I'm looking forward to growing together and meeting you all. Please be sure to follow me on Instagram and introduce yourself. I would love to follow you back, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for free classes that are posted weekly. Looking forward to our next chat together, and I'll see you online, in person, in an immersion, or on this podcast. See you soon. From my heart to yours, much love and namaste.